Okay, I think we have started. If anyone is here, this is my first time actually doing so. This is Ken here, Rug Detectives. Ken, Rug Detectives. Hope everyone's doing well. Absolutely fantastic. Just going to set this up right now. If you can see the screen and hear me, please type in yes. Just want to make sure that everything is running according to plan. So okay, just setting things up now. Basically, this is just a quick live stream, going to be an hour. Just going to answer any questions that anyone has, and basically also going to go through some projects. There's a few projects I'm going to be looking at going through now. Just to do it, let me just make sure that we are live. Okay, if you can hear me, please type in yes. So we've got Mick Nation, Samuel, Mick Nation, Crypto Love, Rob Murphy. Wow, we've got 7 people. Absolutely fantastic. So please, if you can hear me, please type in yes. I want to see if I can actually open up the live chat. Pop up. I think that would help. Okay, so we're going to have to just do this like this if we can. I don't know, it should be a certain way that I can actually fix it. Okay, but it's not showing up. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, fantastic. So we've got got a great turnout for the first session so far. Very happy. Just want to show my appreciation to everyone so far turning up. I know everyone's busy, so we're going to get straight to it. Essentially, I built this platform realistically just to provide as much value as possible to the whole ecosystem. And I would have never known that this would have gone so fast in such a short space of time. So in terms of providing value, and I also wanted to publicly write down in terms of the opportunities I'm looking at, the obstacles I've been facing and the areas that's been going in my favor, and then also finding ways that I can be able to improve, because it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how old you are, you always have to improve. Yes, it's a learning curve. And for me, there's a quick saying, the faintest ink is stronger than the lasting memory. And what that means is the faintest ink is stronger than the lasting memory, which basically means even if you have a pen which only has a little bit of ink left, if you write that down on a piece of paper or type it, for example, right now, that's going to last longer than someone that has a phenomenal memory. And that's how I learn, basically. So I wanted to essentially really start building organically. I didn't really want to then start, doing heavy marketing, and I wanted to really start helping people from the grassroots, from the ground up, that might be going through the same challenges and doing extremely well. Because, if I look back, I've been in this space since 2016, 2017. So let's say I'm an old guard. I've been through the ups and downs. I've been through, everything in this space. So I know exactly what's going on. I'm not someone that although I created this YouTube channel and Twitter only a couple of months ago, but I've been working in the background for years, from software development aspect to front end development to website design to, investment aspect as fund management. So I'm a jack of all trades. And now essentially I'm using all of these skill sets to be able to now help these various projects. And what's so phenomenal is that all of these projects that I'm now starting to help are really open and really expressive to the areas that I can provide value. And what I wanted to do and what I realized, and this is extremely important, I don't know, maybe you can even write down in chat, just write down your experience, write down how long you've been in this space so I have a better understanding in terms of where you are right now. And then also it might be good for you to just even jot down the areas that you want to look at in terms of working on improving. It could be risk management. It could be sourcing potential projects. It could be holding trades too long. It could be situations where your one is too vulnerable or naive and getting involved in these glossy lipstick on a pig type projects, but all of a sudden there's no substance behind it. Yes. So at least have a better understanding of the community and what we're doing. So we have 18 people. Wow. I never actually thought that, to be honest. I thought it was only going to be like one person, and I'll have my Australian Shepherd puppy in the background here sleeping, and I thought it would just be 3 of us, literally. But so, the first live stream, we've got 18 people. I'm chuffed by that. So anyway, let's get straight to it. A-Bars, it says, you are gem yourself, my friend. Thank you very much. At least 100x subscription potential. Yeah. For me, it's less of really the subscription, because I know when I take a look at, and I'm not competing against anyone, but when I take a look at other YouTubers, not even necessarily in the whole crypto space, but let's say in the financial space, providing value, I see those that have hundreds of thousands. I'm like, okay, it's all good and well, but where's that value? And for me, I wanted to give value that people can take away and you can start using immediately. Not like, okay, here's something, but then you have to start charging. No, it doesn't work like that. So we've got Mick Nation says, I'm an attorney, just don't want to get rug pulled. Yes, exactly, especially as an attorney, right? So we have to make sure that doesn't happen, right? Tick all the boxes here. Atif said from Saudi Arabia, very, very nice. How's the weather there right now? I'm in Vienna at the moment, and it's been snowing the last few days, so just trying to stay warm. Samuel, appreciate your in-depth research. Yep, much appreciated to you as well. Thanks for taking the time out. Atlantis, what do you think about BNB and BSC gems? Yeah, let's get straight to the Q&As anyway. Enough of this small talk. So for me, just giving my background, I just wanted to give you my background anyway, so you have a better understanding. So let's get straight to it. So Atlantis basically said BNB and Binance Smart Chain gems. Personally, if you even take a look, it's just been a phenomenal rise. So if we go to CoinGecko right now, who would have thought? I remember years ago, Binance Smart Chain was trading at about $20. So now Binance Coin essentially has just been shown a phenomenal rise. And this is really on the back of, I personally, is not just on what they're doing in terms of Binance. They're iterating, they built this Binance Smart Chain, people are building upon the stack in terms of companies. You've got like, Pancake Swap, you've got Bakery, you've got all of these different ecosystems that are really growing extremely fast. But I also believe it's been to the detriment or the lack of innovation from Ethereum, because they've been struggling with this layer 2. They're now, having this ETH 2.0. People are plowing funds in. The question is, when are they going to start that? I'm hearing it's going to really go into the mainnet in a year and a half. So they're really taking, so with such a huge community, the largest development community, they have taken a while to really grow and take the next step. So I truly believe Binance, currently trading about $312 at the moment, that personally is so cheap. And the reason why is they don't really have, except from Ethereum, who else do they have? Yes, we've got Cosmos coming up. Yes, we've got the polka dots and so on and so forth. But if you take a look at ETH, where they are now, they basically have $226 billion market cap compared to Binance, which is 48. So if you look at the lower barrier of entry, Someone that has, let's say, a small investor that only has, for example, $1,000 to put and look into for certain projects. When you enter a trade and with the gas fees of sometimes $100, that's 10% of your portfolio. So you buy and you sell, that's 20% gone. Forget about whether the price. So you're now pushing the envelope to try and risk, to look for these high risk type projects, so you can just cover the fees, the transaction fees. And so for the larger investors, the ones that have, above 20, 30, 40,000 that they're putting in these, it's okay because they're putting in 0.1%, for example. But that's still considerably high. So I truly believe that Binance is only getting started. If you take a look at their price points, where are they now? So if you go back to the history, back in 2018, where was it trading? It's trading at $10. Sorry, look at that. $1 back in 2017. Who would have thought if you held now? I think CZ basically came out and said it's like 480x since inception. Phenomenal. So if you held that, look where you'd be. So anyway, just to close that, I think Binance is really starting. They're so early that if you take a look at certain projects, I added in the checklist, the VIP checklist for the patron group that I have, I added a link in terms of, so we do spreadsheets, we add a lot of content here in the Rug Detective. So if you're part of it, amazing. If not, then, take a look, check it out, see if this is of interest. We give a lot of trading opportunities, things that's just happening immediately that I don't have time to put together a video. We're working on different aspects in terms of NFTs, digital arts, working on, obviously, on the BSE in terms of interesting projects, conversations with founders that I'm talking to. So what I mean here is that if you take a look at some of these projects that's taking place right now on Binance Smart Chain, a lot of them don't even have any charts. So right now, if I pull up, we've got, let's say, DEX tools here, for example. You know that on Uniswap, there's innovation, there's DEX tools, there's ChartX, there's, Astro tools, all these different charting platforms. But on Binance Smart Chain, you don't really have that. So everyone's just really trying to connect and look at where's the price point. So that means there's huge growth and huge opportunities that's still there to be had. So we are incredibly early. But when you're early, it then also means that you need to be wise. And that means you need to revert back to this spreadsheet, because you have the opportunity of losing money, but you have the opportunity of making some phenomenal gains. Okay, so let's move down. Are you familiar with the Brie rug? Yeah, I heard about the Brie rug. That basically took place like quite a while, a few months ago, right? That was just a crazy rug. I've actually been meaning to do like a document, like a investigative journalism about that, and you just reminded me, so I'm going to put that on the list to really do like a small little synopsis about what really happened, and then I can be able to add that to the Rug Detectives, the scam wallet list as well, so people can be aware of what's happening. If there's a specific rug from a project, you can be able to connect it to the developer wallet and then move forward from there. So, okay, let's move down. Let's get it, bro. Exactly. So, Rob, I found you after I invested in DDS. I was looking for info of the project. Saw you had done your due diligence. Yeah, so DDS, let's see what DDS is doing now. DDS. Digital Dollar Store. So it's currently trading about $4.20. I think the testnet actually came out. So we saw phenomenal pre-sale prices about $1. So it was like an 8x from that. I got in literally around a $2.30, $2.40. I knew that there was going to be this. I was confident because I had this conversation with the people from the team. This is what I'm trying to do now, is have conversations before I get involved in any project. I want to speak to the developer, the owner, someone high up in management, so I can really have this intuition and gauge, are they really serious? Are they looking just to raise money that they can bank and then run off? Yes. Or do they really want to see something long term? Now, I'm never going to get everything 100%, but it increases the odds, number one, that they will list, and also number two, that they're in it for the long term, and also number three, that I can play a role in influencing the direction of the project in the right way, right? So if their aim is like, no, let's take 50% of all the money raised, let's put it in our pocket. I'm like, no, let's devise a plan and put a small amount towards marketing, partnership, development, growing the stack, thinking long term rather than short term. And I keep reiterating this to all these different projects. Okay, so let's go down here. Where are we? So got BNB. Oh, so you got in BNB when it was $6 back in 2000. I couldn't believe it. Good. So did you actually keep that Atlantis? Are you still in BNB at the moment? So credible company, I must say. Atlantis Egg. Yes, so Egg is something I've really been looking at. I think I posted this in the Patreon group. Yes, I posted in the Patreon group earlier today. So Egg literally has, and I've actually been communicating with the team, fun enough, today, Goose Finance, incredibly early to the space. I know it's about $143 at the moment, but they're really into this whole yield farming aspect. They haven't been around for too long, since the 14th of Feb, so incredibly early. I do believe that there's still some more upside potential. They've got total value locked of 100 and something million, if I recall, 122 million. Oh wow, it's even increased. Earlier today it was 122 million total value locked. Now it's 133 million. So even with a company, a project that's only a week old, they already have literally 133 total valued in terms of what's being farmed right now. So there's incredible growth. I'm still communicating with the team, find out more, probably even look at doing an audit of their contract, their stake in their farming contract, find out. But this is really something probably within the next day or so I'll be looking at getting involved in, if everything stacks up. So let's go down to the next one. We'll get the DEX and charting app. They're integrating this. HTO will get. Okay, cool. That's good. So that's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, keep me posted with that, because I think it's extremely important to have that done with DEX tools and chart as soon as possible, to be honest. And I think what they can do is provide a function, as they're doing now with DEX, that if you hold a certain amount of their tokens, you have the option not just looking from a daily time frame of the charts, then you can go down into a granular, a micro, whatever, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, so people can really look. I think it's extremely important for them to do that. So look at Modify. Yes, Modify backed by DEX Force. I actually did. So let's go to Twitter. I actually did a post. I think I did a post about Modify. I wasn't too happy about something about Modify. It was just in terms of, what did I say here? I said that they have the opportunity to do something big if they execute well. Docs team, nice clean website, part of TrustSwap's launch pad, which is positive because TrustSwap do extremely well in terms of the companies that's come out of the launch pad. So they're well known for assisting, guiding the whole incubator aspect. Oversubscribed with 12 million pledged. But the concerns I had was in terms of the LinkedIn profiles were not connected to the doxed team. Yes, so they had the doxed team, but the LinkedIn profiles didn't show that they were actually working or part of the Modify team. And I don't know why. If you're going to dox yourself all the way. Don't just go 50-50. Then it had 2.95% Uniswap liquidity. So that's incredibly low. And my question is where is I clearly saw from the tokenomics where the rest is going to, but I don't quite understand. They were not raising a lot of money. So why are they having such a small liquidity? Yes, small liquidity, price can really pop. However, it then, the whales, so the large investors cannot really get involved because, it's, the liquidity aspect is minimal. Then I said there was no product. I tend to be interested in entities that actually have a viable product. So if you go back up, and a viable product could be an MVP. If you take a look here, so MVP, a product on the test net, on the main net, or live product. So this is my view about them, and I think we'll take a look at how they're doing right now. So modify. So we've got 19 people. Good. So it seems that we're holding the fort right now. So right now it was a pop up to the upside, tested about $4, and it's now moving lower. So yeah, just it's good. I would definitely raise this. If anyone's interested, please raise this with the CEO of the company. I asked him, but he didn't respond, so wasn't quite happy with my response. I'm just trying to, I'm opening up and really doing my full due diligence and really trying to find the best projects. If they don't like it, so be it. It's not my problem. There are hundreds, thousands of companies out there. Okay, so let's move down to here. DuckDAO team is amazing. Yeah, DuckDAO team is amazing. They're really connecting to a lot of good projects like Paid and all these big, quite well-known projects. What do they have? They have liquidity of nearly 7 million. Incredible. And they've really done a very, very smart way how they've done it. They basically just said, listen, if you're interested in getting involved in our projects early, i.e. private pre-sale, you need to have an allocation, or you need to have some tokens of our project, which is fantastic. This is similar to what Unicrypt, I told you about Unicrypt. We've joined forces with Unicrypt now to help with auditing. And I think Unicrypt, actually, there are they? We've joined forces with Unicrypt. I want to make sure that I'm clicking on the right. We've joined forces with Unicrypt to help them with auditing. So now we have an auditing arm. So it's RD auditors. So we help to do professional audits of smart contracts, staking contracts, farming contracts. So we basically joined forces with them. If I can be able to find where that information, yeah, it's here. So they're doing like a pre-sale, which basically means that these projects are locking their capital with Unicrypt, and then the tokens are released once the project has listed. So it builds more trust. And they reached out to us with some other well-known auditors in the space. And so basically we're helping out. And the reason why I'm telling you about Unicrypt is they've just said, listen, if you want to be play a role or invest in pre-sale or private sale for some of their, and this is from the project's aspect, you also need to have an allocation of the tokens. So when that news came out, which was 2 days ago, look at that pop in the price. It went from 221 all the way to 500. So literally more than doubled. So it just shows you when there's collaboration, when there's partnership, when there's trust, anything's possible. Okay, so paid network. Okay, so Robert, it is now GDO. Okay, so you said here, yes, I was hit very hard by that. The project was unrugged. It is now. Okay, so I'm going to take a look to find out more information about that, Rob. Then McNation, Ken, if you ever need a lawyer to help review paperwork, due diligence, hit me up. Happy to help in audits. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, definitely let you know, because obviously we're doing a lot of stuff with various projects now as well. So we aim to really build something strong. Are you still holding DDS? Yeah. So basically with DDS, as I mentioned, which is extremely crucial in this whole space, is risk management is very, very important. So what I literally did is basically in the trade, when it moved to the upside, I basically took out the initial and then locked in, which basically means it's a riskless trade, and also took some small profits off the table, which basically means that if the market moves lower, I haven't lost anything. So I've locked in the initial capital and also took profit off the table. I, however, still believe that there's massive upside potential to DDS, pending the release to see how it transpires regarding companies that are onboarding. So now they've got the testnet. I think they did an AMA or something, or about to do an AMA. So we want to see how well they progress over the next few weeks to months. If they continue to iterate, because now their website is definitely cleaner. DDS website, is it still down? Because before there were They're working on it. Okay, let's see what's happening here. I don't know what they're doing here. Seems they have a bit of a catcher. Don't know what that's about. Okay, let's just see if it's going to go to the site or not. DDS store. This is okay, good. DDS, good. So they've actually improved. I don't know if you saw the website initially. It was very colorful. So they've now improved aspect of the website, which is good. They did raise a lot of money, so they do have quite a large marketing budget. So I expect a lot from them, from front end design, marketing. There's still a lot of areas I would definitely like them to improve. Personally, the UI really still needs to step up. You know, in terms of these areas, they could have a pop-up to take email addresses that they can build like an opt-in list. They are really in an interesting space in terms of NFTs. This whole area of NFTs, virtual trading cards, digital art, this whole kind of creating this e-commerce for like similar like Shopify, but in the whole crypto space. So they're onto something big. Again, buying Uniswap. Yep. So let's just see how they continue to move. I think I think is it the marketing tokens or team tokens or something is about to expire in Unicrypt in I think in a week or a couple of weeks. I think 77,000 or something. So we need to just keep a lookout to see what they actually do with that. Okay, so we've got 20 on. Fantastic. Good growth. So for the first session, very happy. Please spread the word as well. Like, subscribe, follow. You know, if you got your coffee, have your coffee. If you got your wine, drink your wine. If you got your whiskey, you know, have a whiskey. So enjoy right now. So we've got 20, which is absolutely fantastic for the first live session. We have no mishaps thus far. So let's go down. Awesome. So learning curve profiles I made a small as modify my entry could have been better. Okay, what was your entry on that, Rob? So Atlantis with DuckDAO involved with DDM. Yep, so DuckDAO, DDM, strong partnership they have, kind of like private sale situation. I think they're really onto something big in terms of DuckDAO, and I think onwards and upwards in terms of what they're trying to achieve. I think there'll be a lot of other companies, especially from the let's say the venture aspect. So there's a lot of venture funds, seed funds, like Silicon Valley, you know, those type of funds. I think we're going to see a massive transition where they're going to start moving over to the whole this crypto DeFi space and start working on providing a platform that they can assist new projects and then also have their own token. So if you want to get in early in, let's say, pre-sale, private sale, you need to have an allocation of their token. So you can see where the price will literally be stabilized due to that. And let's be honest, if a venture firm that has a lot of experience outside of DeFi now transitioning it into DeFi, and then they start onboard or rolling out, let's say 2 to 3 good companies on a monthly basis, you're going to want to get involved, right? Because if private sells at 20%, 50% discount, for example, that will be compensated for the small investment that you've done with on their specific token. So I can really see that transition that I'm really starting to see in this, potentially will be seen within the next 6 months to a year. People like, even I remember, for example, Jason Calacanis. I don't know if you know Jason Calacanis. He has like This Week in Startups, early investor in Uber, early investor in Calm, the meditation app. He was not a proponent of crypto, DeFi, Bitcoin. He was like, no, it's a scam. Now he's slowly transitioning over. So it tells you where this whole market is moving to. Okay, so good. Let's crack on to the next one. Any thoughts on why PS? No, never heard of this company. Are they listed at the moment? Let's just see what comes up. Or are they going through a pre-sale? Just let me know and I can be able to do a check for you. Are we still bullish on Azuki and Doki? Yeah, so Azuki and Doki, it was funny because if I tell you, let's go to Azuki here. So initially, Azuki was basically just a farming token for Doki. Yes, it's like a Japanese company, well regarded, a lot of reputation in the space. And I remember when it actually came out. If I just go back here, when it actually came out, it literally, because it was a farming, so people just literally having an allocation of Doki, and they were farming and receiving Azuki as rewards, and it collapsed. It literally collapsed. If I can just show you, it literally bounced up at, I can just zoom in here. It got to a point of, what was it? There was a high of $870. That was the high back in the 8th of November. And I remember looking at this around 144 and I was like, oh, what's going to happen? It popped to the upside, but then totally collapsed because people were just claiming the rewards. And then it was consolidating. Then the news came out from Azuki that they were going to use this. They were going to start burning the tokens and using it as a function for you to use the NFT machine. You would need to have Azuki. So basically, it just stabilized around the 8 cents region for a few months. And I had my eye on it like since December. I was like, what should I do? Hold on to it. And I managed to get in and around about $12, around $12 area. Didn't have a lot because I was plowing into other different projects, but I was extremely happy when I saw the pop from where we now. So it's literally gone and tested the highs of about nearly $1. So it's been a phenomenal rise. I do see this continuing to the upside because this is moving in the same wave as NFTs and the same as Doki. Doki has a smaller token supply, but obviously has a larger price. So they have a higher market cap at the moment. But still, if you take a look at the price points, it's 243. It was the highs of 739. And now it's basically popped up. There's been a steady move to the upside. Is about $28, $31. It's done a 10x literally in 19 days. You know, this whole space is crazy, absolutely crazy. So, yeah, that's my views. Then, yes, exactly, Rob. Feed my familia. You know, we have to feed our familiars right now. That's the most important thing when we're here. You know, feed the familia, then we feed the village, then we feed the town, then we feed the whole city. Then, you know, we just do whatever we have to do, you know. So this is it. DDS, yeah. DDS still positive as long as they still keep iterating and pushing the envelope. We just need to be on top of them. I was actually speaking to one guy from the management team today and just finding out the progress. And basically, they still need to keep pushing. If they keep doing this and they don't rest on their laurels, because what happens with a lot of projects, they work really hard to get the private sale, pre-sale, if they get that done. And then once they're listed and they say they've raised 100, 200, 300 ETH, and they have maybe 5%, 10% for dev, and then they have a certain amount for the management, then they have a certain amount for marketing, and they're like, oh, then they start thinking about, where am I going to go on holiday, or what car should I buy, and where should I take my spouse and my kids, where are we going to go? So they start thinking about all these things and they get distracted. You know, their mind gets, you know, wavered away from what they really should be focusing on, because once you list, that's only the start. You know, it's not over. That's where the work really starts cracking. So you can see the temperament, or let's just say the backbone of these teams based on how well they do and they progress once they're listed. So So 200 DDM to get into Beach Club, 8 private sales so far in a couple of months. See, look at that. So 8 private sales so far in a couple of months. So they're flying. They're putting their head down. They're building something, an ecosystem, and they're contacting, they're communicating with a lot. And you know what's phenomenal about whatever DDM, DuckDAO, is once you have a successful project under your banner, then all of a sudden top devs start flowing. And then what you then start doing, you start hiring devs, literally in-house, and then you start coming up with these different ideas, then you start taking a large allocation. And I'm not saying they're doing this, but this is where I feel that a lot of these projects will start doing, or they have strong relationships and partnerships with these entities. So modified $2.52, trying to balance my trading with working. Yeah, it's not easy. I think especially if you're working, you should see this as a long-term portfolio. And what that means is, yes, we sometimes get focused on the smaller projects that's been listed, or the ones that have a stealth launch with small amount of liquidity. But you should also not forget about, let's say, the blue chip, the heavyweights, the BTCs, the ETH, the Binance coin. Who would have thought I'd be saying Binance coin right now? Polka dots. So it's good to have some form of a diversification portfolio in top 3, top 4, top 5, spread out, Cardano, Polka dot, those type of things here. And then you have a certain percentage in the higher risk type projects. Then you have a portion towards the Binance Smart Chain, so farming as well. So you start generating some streams, some passive streams of income. So these are the type of areas you need to look at. Entered Azuki at 59 cents. 59 cents. Okay, what's the price now? Is like, okay, it's not bad. So you're more or less break even then right now, yeah. I still see upside with that anyway. I think it's just a longer term hold. I think there's a strong organization, strong company there. So I think it's onwards and upwards about that. Then I hadn't even heard of these projects. It's hard to keep up. Yes, to be honest with you, I have on Telegram, I literally have probably about 50 different chats flowing. So I have chats from all the different projects in Telegram chats. Then I have group chats with the management of these projects I'm interested in. Then I have chats with, for example, new listings of BSE. And then I have chats with innovation and technology. So it's just keeping your eye on the flow of what's really happening in the space. What I've done now is, again, I'm less of looking at the pretty, the kind of like the numbers, and we're going to do this. I'm more like, I need to communicate with the director, and then once that information I get from the owner, from the dev, I will relay that into the Rug Detectives, into the Patreon group. We have a VIP. So this is the normal DeFi checklist, but we have a VIP Patreon members checklist that I'm going to be expanding. We will also be opening up a Discord for that group. And then I'm going to open up that Discord later on down the line for everyone else, the whole community. And just trying to build upon that whole fashion there. So let's see what other questions. Thoughts are also Max Artwell. Yeah, so thoughts basically Artwell NFT. It was funny. I saw I'm going to add a link. There was a link for Mark Cuban, who is the owner of Dallas Maverick. So well-known entrepreneur. He's on Shark Tank, right? Yeah, Shark Tank on the panel. He was actually, and he wasn't really a strong proponent of this whole crypto space, but he is totally involved now, and he's really involved from this whole NFT, non-fungible token aspect, because he can be able to utilize that for like gaining royalties off trading cards of his players, for example, of jerseys, of certain games, that online games that you can be able to utilize and get and earn royalties from that. So he's thinking 10 steps ahead, and he is totally all involved now. So it's encouraging to hear that from people like him, and it just shows that people are willing to change if there's growth. If you go back 2, 3, 4 years ago, people are like, no, forget about it. But now people are seeing that it's more than just holding a specific currency. There's actually utility. There are use cases now. Atlantis, no, I don't have a Telegram group. I actually set one up, but I'm not really using it. But I think I'm going to just do a Discord group potentially. It depends really on the numbers, because right now, again, I just started this channel like 6 weeks ago. So it's just phenomenal, the organic growth. We've got 22 people in the chat right now, which is I'm so chuffed, so happy. Thank you all. But I really do see probably within the next few months, as the market matures, as people from outside of DeFi space getting involved, I think there'll be massive growth. So I could potentially look at opening maybe a Telegram group as well. Or I'm always thinking outside the box, just trying to find ways that what other people are not doing, just to provide this uniqueness. So have you looked beyond finance? There are the pre-sale phase. Have you looked beyond finance? Pre-sale. Do you mean in terms of looking at a project before it reaches the pre-sale phase, or private phase, or early stage? Or what do you mean? Because actually I was speaking to someone who was talking about a project that's actually just starting in the incubator stage. So they haven't even put together a white paper. So I'm working on ways now to even go as far as early as that I can have an idea and communicate with some of the dev team to help them along that path, and to be part of this, the part of the management, and then to get my community, so us, to be involved early. So similar to what DDIM doing, DuckDAO or whatever, these early incubators, but doing it on let's say on a community scale, right? So rather than as a company structure, but on the community scale, we all come together. We're part of these various projects. We have governance. So i.e. there's a voting mechanism. So if you want to push forward and say, we want to be able to create this specific feature on the stack, for example, a percentage the community would literally have to agree before we move forward. So it's actually then getting everyone involved, right? I think for me, it's less of just investing, just making money. It's more of just being part of this whole process when it's extremely early, and then to see where it is now. If you take a look at Walt Finance, for example, we did. I go to YouTube. So if you go to Walt Finance, so I've been communicating with the dev for a few months actually, and basically new project came out. He wanted me to be part and help him out with certain aspects. So I've been helping him through the whole process. And then obviously I did the whitelist live stream earlier today. They're now partnered with Certic. They raised 60 ETH in a private sale, literally in minutes. Then the pre-sale whitelist was done today, the second batch, and it literally closed. It hit already the pre-sale, and then the listing was going to be early next week. So what I mean is that I'm involved in seeing the progress internally, and then I can give them my views on how I want this. I believe it should move. Not telling them what to do, but just providing my own views. And this is where I see this. And the next step, what I would like to happen is not just providing my views, but just saying, listen, I have a large community behind, and we want to be on the multi-sig, for example. So we want to be part of the votes. So this is changing the game and forgetting about these huge, big venture funds, hedge funds, or whoever with the big money, and saying, let's go down to the community. Let's all have a say in the direction of these projects. So this is where I believe this whole thing is moving to. Okay, so any other questions here? I was watching an AMA about EDA today, DeFi Bench, NAID, EDA. Do you have the ticket symbol for that? I can be able to find out. And what was that about? Let's see if there's anything. Oh, this is it, right? No, maybe this is not it. This is another thing that I really hate about this whole space. And this is the reason why I created this, rug detected with a name, is the scammers. So you just told me to take a look at EDA, right? And I'm typing in EDA, and then I selected something that was a total scam. And they're scams where they have the same name. Previously, they probably had a similar liquidity. they probably listed on the same day that the real project listed. And if you take a look, people actually entered, right, different wallet addresses. So people basically bought thinking that this is the real project. And then you see that the market's moving. And what some of these scam artists do is that they'll create 5 or 6 different wallets, which will have maybe 1 or 2 transactions. We'll take a look. And then they'll start buying small amounts, and they'll make it seem like, oh, the price is moving to the upside. So then when you go on it, you type in, you're like, shit, it's really moving, it's moving, I need to jump. So you don't really think. I just want to see about, yeah, so they rugged, and people are putting in money here. So this is what I like to do. I like to really go on to view the contract, take a look at who the creator, contract deployer is. So this is the whole auditing smart contract aspect. Then I'll take a look to see when this was, the movement of this wallet. So you can clearly see, look at the movement of the wallet 41 days ago, moving 20 ETH, right? 40,000 in, look, bunches, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 ETH moving out. And so where did this move? Moving it to another wallet. So do you see this wallet? ETH value 44. This is one of the wallets that actually entered, one of the first few entries here, right? So I know what they're up to, but unfortunately people coming into the space don't. And this is why I really wanted to educate the whole space about this. So what we're trying to do is, another thing is come out with some form of a user face, whereby before you type in header, you'll go into this dashboard, you'll type in header, and the header will be related to the only one project. So what we'll do is we'll connect the contract to the real official Telegram group, official Twitter, and also get the owner of the project to KYC before it goes into this dashboard. So when someone types in header, and then it'll come up with the exact contract address with the right details, and then they can copy and a link will go to Dex Tools or Chart or whatever. And the aim is to be able to decrease the risk of getting scammed. Okay, so next one is here, Dodo. Did you have a look, Dodo? Let's see here. Dodo. So we've got 23 people on. What you find sometimes with these live streams, that it tends to tail off after a while, right? But we've just been steady and growing. So it seems that there's some interest. Okay, so I typed that in wrong. Dodo, is that right? Bad. Let's just see. This rings a bell. Actually, did I take a look at this project before? Did you have a look? It's mooning. Yeah. I need to take a look to find out what's happening. I don't like to chase trades, obviously, because this was at 60 cents literally 2 weeks ago, and it then did a 10x or 12x. So I don't like to chase trades. I want to look at liquidity. I'll then go and take a look at the contract. Then what I'll do is I'll go to Twitter. So what I'm doing is I'm going through the checklist, right? I'll go to Twitter. I'll find out more about, okay, 25,000 followers. They're on Discord. I'll find out about the releases. What partnerships do they have? I look at the tokenomics. I'm going through all of this process to know what's really happening, right? And then if everything stacks up, then I'll say, okay, who are they competing against? So you look at like a SWOT analysis. I'm like, okay, Dodo's competing against ABC. Dodo has a market cap of 10 million. ABC has a market cap of 50 million. Oh, that's interesting. So potentially, and Dodo has more or better features, or they're more innovative. So that's a potential 5x upside. Then I'll say, okay, who are they? What partnership? So here it says double new asset listing, PancakeSwap, Breeder Dodo. So this is interesting. Why? Because PancakeSwap are literally what's their, look at that, 1.9, so nearly $2 billion market cap. PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap. The same PancakeSwap that listed in October, or around that time, right, is a $2 billion company. So it just shows you how fast this market can grow, essentially. I just want to make sure that I haven't forgotten anyone. Okay. Do I have a chance to take a look at Soup? Soup. I actually heard about Soup, and I added this to the VIP, the patrons group. If you haven't gone to it, we provide us so much content and on a regular basis in terms of information that you need to know, from NFTs to trading opportunities that I'm looking at. Where is this? I actually had this information there. So if you're interested, so like here, trading opportunities that's happening without prior notice, rankings of top projects, risk management course will be coming out with shortly. And then there's projects of the month, so due diligence. So a lot of information that I'm providing and things that what's happening. And sometimes if there's a lot going on, I'm going to add this information. But sometimes there could be something that may not happen for a week, for 2 weeks. But if you do the research and you're willing to wait for that one project could do 100x rather than 5, 10, 20 different projects, and you get confused because you don't know which one to choose, right? So I like to add 3 or 4, 5, 6 projects and then condense it down to these ones I'm looking at, but these ones I'm doing research, I'm talking, I'm trying to find out, and then like, bam, let me pull the trigger. I'm getting involved in this one. Okay, so question here, could Uniswap not be more stringent about listing? Yeah, this is the concern. They really try to make this like an open source type of environment where it's just open for everyone. They don't have this quality control, and that's the reason why people like ourselves and Unicrypt and then you have other companies that are trying to provide this some form of verification. Auditors are coming in to really help investors make better decisions. But to be honest, Uniswap's there, but now people are moving towards, PancakeSwap, for example. People are moving to the Binance Smart Chain. And that's where Binance Smart Chain is where we were in 2017 in terms of looking at these projects, no charts, you're getting involved. So it just shows that there's innovation, but then also there's new products coming up with different ideas. Like i.e. Binance Smart Chain is doing extremely well because, I did a transaction today and I paid 10 cents on a transaction on Binance Smart Chain. If I did the same thing on Uniswap, you're looking at, and I did it on Uniswap today, it's like $110. So I'm now moving majority of my positions. So the ones I'm in, I'm still keeping, but any new positions, I'm moving away from Uniswap because it's just too expensive. And it's not whether I have $1,000 or $1 million, but it's like, if I'm getting involved, that means there's a large percentage of people would not be able to buy these because of they have small capital. So how is a project really going to grow and have more holders and people interested if there's a lot of friction? So you want to have a lower barrier of entry, but yes, this causes issues with scams. And this is why having been due diligent and doing research is extremely important. So, okay, that's that. I think we'll be wrapping up, guys. So what my intention is to try and do this if I can, like on a weekly basis, like once a week, if I can, just like an hour, like a Q&A type of thing, AMA, any questions. If you want me to maybe do like some reviews, then maybe let me know that I can be able to go through and do reviews. If there are certain areas you want to work on, just send me an email to detectivesrug@gmail. I'm even trying to remember my email, by the way. Just been a lot going on. Go to rugdetectives@gmail.com. I'll be changing that very soon. Please go to Patreon. Put this in here. Please go to the Patreon group to find out more about what we're doing. Really trying to provide as much info as possible. And sky's the limit. I have a lot of interesting things that I'll be coming out with within the next few weeks to few months. So just stay with us. We're really going to grow this community. Please spread the word about what we're doing, and subscribe, help me with algorithms, please, and also comment. And let's get it. Okay, so have a fantastic evening, night, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you soon. Okay, God bless, love you all, and take care, guys. Bye bye.